can you not love that song? What's up, y'all? It's Friday. It's Friday. And when you know it, oh Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. What's up? We made it. Another week. It's Friday. As we speak. Oh, how y'all doing? I'm doing fine. I'm sitting in my chair doing a slow wine. About to have a good time. Reading y'all these hot topics. Y'all know the beat gon' stop. And the music just drops it. What's up, y'all? I'm so glad it's Friday. And I know, it's like Groundhog Day week. Every Friday I say this. And every Friday I mean it. Man, I be wearing myself out, bro. Like, literally, I went to the gym today. I went to the store, cooked chili. I had some jalapenos today, and boy, they were great. I miss jalapenos. I haven't been able to have them for like 2 months, and I love me some jalapenos. They're beautifully beautiful. Other than that, like, my energy level is very low, which is great because when I'm tired, I'm way more goofier, which I'm goofy all the time, but, you know, I don't even know if goofier is a word, but it's gonna be one tonight. Yeah, y'all, that's about it. I didn't do too much today. I mean, I did. I literally just said that, but nothing out of the ordinary. But I've been on the go all day. That this is the first time I'm like been able to like chill and sit down and get my mind together. The presidential debate. Yeah. Let's see what people are saying about it, because I know that's all people are going to talk about today. I don't know what the FCNN is trending. But the FCNN, how Biden voters looking right now after the debate. How did your favorite President Trump, do America? Seems as if Democrats and even CNN are saying that they need to replace Biden. Biden's handlers driving him home after the debate. Hey, I only watched a snippet of it, and I was like, I was not going to at all watch the thing, because I know there's going to be a million clips, but I knew it was going to be bad, y'all. Dementia is on the ballot. That's what they said on Twitter. It'll always be Twitter. I don't even care, but yeah. I don't even want to know why Michelle Obama's trending. I'm scared. The X app get too crazy, man. You can't even, like, some stuff you can't search for on there. Let's see. This is from CBS. Biden struggles early in the presidential debate with a hoarse voice. Because how many times did they have him practice? During the first presidential debates, former President Donald Trump claimed that under his administration, we had the greatest economy in history. CBS News confirmed it has been determined this is false. Yeah, I don't even know when the best economy was. It's been a long time ago. Also, Donald Trump said that Biden wants open borders. Fact check. That ain't true. I didn't even need to read the fact check. That ain't true. Now, has Biden done a lot about the borders? No. Former Uvalde School Police Chief Pete Arenado in custody 2 years after the Roby Elementary shooting. What did he get arrested for? Let me see. Ten counts of child endangerment. It took y'all a long time. About time. Police chief failed those kids. 3 important fact checks by CBS News confirmed team statements by both President Biden and former President Trump. The first presidential debate, the economy, immigration, and abortion. Gayle King on President Biden's debate. If he was supposed to comfort people who were concerned about his age and his ability, that did not happen. I don't know what Democrats is going to do because Joe didn't look good up there at all. At all. I know most of the news is about to be about this debate, which I said that yesterday. An evacuation order was issued in Madison, Illinois on Thursday after a freight train derailed. Residents were allowed to return home after authorities contained hazardous materials. You know the conspiracy theory is about to go crazy because these trains keep derailing with hazardous materials. What's up with that? Illinois cold case victim, Ohio woman nearly 50 years after she was killed. They finally identified her. Bronny James selected by LA Lakers in the NBA draft, joining father LeBron's team. This was the first father and son duo ever. What a way to retire with getting your kid in the league. Dania Furniture is recalling a bookcase sold online and at the stores nationwide after an unanchored unit tipped over, killing a 4-year-old. Crazy. Chewy stock surged as a high of $39.10 or 36% after a meme stock investor Keith Gill posted a dog image on social media. AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, the 3 major cellular carriers in the U.S. on Thursday, said a roaming outage is affecting customers traveling internationally. That's not shocking. The job you apply for might not exist. Here's what's behind a boom in ghost jobs. There are a lot of ghost jobs out there. Oklahoma's top education officials ordered them to incorporate the Bible into lessons for grades 5 through 12, the latest efforts by conservatives to incorporate religion into classrooms. Wireless providers would have to unlock all cell phones within 60 days of activation under a proposal unveiled Thursday by the Federal Communications Commission. FCC wants to make carriers unlock phones within 60 days of activation. I don't even know what that means, but it don't sound right. Tesla Bay Area plant ordered to stop spewing toxic emissions after repeated violations. Vermont has agreed to pay $175,000 to settle a lawsuit on behalf of a man who was charged with a crime for giving a state trooper the middle finger in 2018, the state chapter of the American Civil Liberties said on Wednesday. I mean, the man won. About 132,000 Bezos magnetic wireless charging power banks sold online are being caught after 171 reports of lithium-ion batteries overheating. The head of a Abraham Lincoln wax statue in Washington, D.C. melted away this week after a heat wave in the nation's capital proved too much for the former president. Even he was slumped over. It was there since February, but the heat just couldn't hack it. A district court judge has set a date of June 2025 start date for the criminal trial of Brian Kohlberger, the student accused in the murders of 4 students at the University of Idaho in 2022. It's going to be an interesting trial because they really could never find who did it. Drone video shows a huge sinkhole estimated to be 100 feet wide and 30 feet deep that opened up at the middle of a soccer field in Alton, Illinois this week. No one was hurt or on the field at the time of the collapse. That's crazy. You know, there is a sinkhole map if you guys ever want to see it. There's lots of sinkholes around. Scary almost. As Boeing faces multiple whistleblower complaints over safety, the company recently gave special access and tightly controlled media tour of its 737 MAX this week. CDK, the company that powers sales for thousands of car dealerships across the U.S., says it restored systems for a small group of dealers after it was hacked last week in what it later describes as a ransom event. Japan's government is calling for stricter oversight of U.S. troops stationed in the country after a soldier was charged with the alleged sexual assault of a Japanese teenager in Okinawa. Many adults take multivitamins in hopes of being better in their health, but a new study is calling their usefulness into question. Look, man, what do y'all want us to do? An original water cooler illustration on the cover of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the first book in J.K. Rowling's international histories, has become the most expensive piece of Potter paraphernalia ever sold at an auction. Team USA has confirmed that it will bring their own air conditioning for athletes to use. I know that's right. We like it cold here in America. Taco Bell announced a value menu promotion. An independent review of the U.S. Tennis Association protecting minor athletes from abuse such as sexual misconduct found that the group can do more to increase safety policies. Wildfires are going on in Canada. You know what that means. It's going to be a bunch of smog coming our way. A groundbreaking new study found taking multivitamins every day does not help you live longer. Thanks. In general, it's better to get your vitamins from Whole Foods. Yeah. Y'all just want people to buy more food. All our food is like poison. The Supreme Court allows abortions to be performed during certain medical emergencies in Idaho. I think we're about to catch up. Kenya's protests have resumed as President William Ruto's tax hike concession failed to quell anger. Kenyan people ain't playing. This couple has been together for 34 years. They're caring for their parents. They're worried about, they're worried about coming out to, I don't know. It's confusing. Oklahoma plans to execute a man Thursday who was convicted of kidnapping, raping, and killing a 7-year-old former stepdaughter in 1984. Man, they took a long time. Mount Everest melting ice reveals the bodies of climbers that have been lost in the death zone. Man. I bet you they gotta take a lot of bodies down every year. An Arlington businesswoman who operated an illegal home-based healthcare company called Love and Caring for People, LLC, may be connected to at least 20 deaths. After everything we've learned, I think it's clear to say she did not love or care for anyone. Yeah, I gotta check these people's credentials. All of America's security team will start using facial recognition software as part of a safety plan. Having trouble sleeping, but if sleep divorce feels too drastic, here's what to know about the Scandinavian sleep method and if it's right for you. Alright. See what I liked on this app today. So these are a pair of blackened lungs of a 52-year-old man who smoked a pack of cigarettes for 30 years. And them things is cooked and charred. I'm assuming he's no longer here. But maybe he got some new lungs. So what is this? Now they debunked it. Not a face transplant, but a facelift. They're not getting these faces from any donor. That's actually incorrect. So these ladies got facelifts. But the early article said they were getting like children's faces. Alright. So not much on here that I like today. I was too busy. I have time to scroll as much as I usually do. Let's see I forgot to get on TMZ, see what they got going on. Donald Trump, I didn't have SCX with a you-know-what star, debates Stormy. Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay, $10,000 a month, enough spousal support for my estranged husband. Kesha gas station photo shoot cut short. Sinclair wasn't having it. Sinclair said, "Girl, you didn't give us no money to come shoot your thing at our gas station." I know that's right. Hannah Gutierrez Reed claims DA hid evidence in Russ case. Let me out of prison. Stat. JoJo Siwa grins and bears new tattoo, possibly new album alert. Biden-Trump debate, body language make or break. Watch for these moves. Joy Behar, I get it on with the woman in my 90s. Joy, you gonna wait till you're 90 years old at that point. What are you gonna be doing? Riley Strain bars cleared of wrongdoing. No clear evidence he was overserved. Texas security guard quits job during live TV interview after on-duty assault. He said, "I'm up out of here." Rob Kardashian makes a rare appearance at Khloe's 40th birthday dinner. Rob don't never get on camera, but he came out. Kelly Stafford rips insecure man after backup QB outlash. I still don't know what that's about. Paul Walter Hauser takes shot at Vin Diesel work ethic, but he never worked with him. Katy Perry ignores Dr. Luce collabs questions. Atlanta and DC bars, Biden and Trump debate. We drink, serving cocktails and games. You'd have to drink through that debate. Zed, this woman's harassing me. Help me out, judge. Florida Panthers Laura Stanley gets VIP treatment at a VIP nightclub. San Diego sea lions chase girls out of water. Don't stand so close to me. Sea lion said, "I ain't having it, girl." These animals are telling us they don't want us in this water. Alright, I think we're caught up. Alright, I don't think there's nothing exciting to read on this app either. Kind of lame burger. A nothing burger, as people like to say. That cracks me up when people say that. Let's see what's on Reddit. This might be a short one today because I really don't even know. I can't even remember what I did for story times. What's a creative way to respond to F you? Your mother. Years ago, I was training with an older Armenian gentleman while leaning to drive a company vehicle. He cut off a car and the guy pulled alongside him and yelled, F you. The older dude lost his stuff and started yelling, come F me then, over and over again. The dude looked at him and was even in more disgust and fear. From a guy to the guy that said F you, you never go back to women and just stand there in their uncomfortable moment of silence. He said, if you did, you'd never go back to a woman. You're not that lucky that I'm not desperate. One of my sisters used to say, F yourself, it's cheaper. Someone has to. I'm not keen on your offer, though. Pull down your pants and start chasing them while screaming like a banshee. I don't know, man. It's like grade school level. Somebody said, bless your heart. Somebody said, I try, but I start crying every time. I will make it as comfortable as possible to talk to me. What makes you go from 0 to 100 real quick? Lord. I'm going to read with y'all because I'm too zen right now to talk about that. Being accused of something I didn't do. Telling me to do something I already was going to do. Dang. Y'all just need anger management. Seeing someone litter within 50 feet of a trash can, like, honestly, come on. When my family tries to tell me how to deal with my senior Alzheimer patient mother when they push me into assuming legal guardianship while simultaneously falling to help. When the person behind me is driving me insane with their high beams on. When I try to lean forward but for no effing reason, the seatbelt decides to not today. Then let seatbelt get caught. That dude drive you crazy. I don't like getting caught on doors either, man. That stuff. And then you tear your clothes, like, why? Someone repeatedly interrupting me when I'm speaking. Drivers who pull out in front of me when there's absolutely no one behind me. When my pocket gets caught on a door handle. Yeah. I hate that. What's the most bizarre compliment you got? That my left eye is really pretty. Both of my eyes are the same color. Your beard makes me want to grab your face and rub you all over like a loofah. If I knocked you up, I wouldn't run away, probably. You look like my sibling, although I never liked him. What am I supposed to say? You have the most beautiful shade of dog poop eyes. When I was younger, a random girl said I look like Adam Levine's uglier younger brother. I look like Get His Taste and I'm Acquired Taste. You have a nice clavicle. That my skin feels like snake skin. That ain't no compliment. The older lady in my office had a weird fascination with me. She said, I was watching you walk in this morning and you have a healthy gait. We're both lying in bed naked after sleeping together, staring in each other's eyes, and he says, I love your lips. They're so thin. That's crazy. What's the funniest reason that a coworker's called off for? First day, cat died, had to bury the cat. Second day, daughter 2 grieved over cat, had to take care of her. Day 28, dog dug up cat, has to rebury cat. I pooped my pants and I'm stuck in traffic. Either find me a spare pants or I'm not. I'm going home for the day. I once had a guy's mom calling sick for him. This wasn't some kid. He was in his 20s, although he didn't live with her. Anyway, she said he ain't gonna be in today. He ain't decided which end to put down. The meaning behind that was that he had both pooping and puking at the same time. Another time, a guy's girlfriend, I think, or maybe him, someone called and told him he'd be arrested. I drove a couple of hours, bailed him out, and drove him home. He was a good guy, and it was over a warrant. Had to move out of town over the weekend because his allergy to local plants was too bad. Once a guy called in sick, 2 hours later, he called in to say his basement had flooded, forgetting that he had already called in. In reality, he was just really drunk. Used to be a manager in a retail store years ago. 17-year-old employee of mine called in saying he ran out of toilet paper and had nothing to wipe his butt with and was stuck in the bathroom until his mom could come home. I'm just like, why do you even have to give excuses to call in? I'm fortunate now that I have a job where I'm just like, I'm not coming in today. And I love that. Because, I mean, why do y'all care I ain't coming in? I could be lying or not. A coworker tried calling in on 4/20 saying it was his birthday. The manager replied, "We know your birthday is in February. It's on your paperwork." He came in. Alright. I'm not messing with MIDA hoes yet. I'm still out on them. Let's get into story time. See what I got.
Tonight after police say he allegedly pistol-whipped and beat an employee who was late to work. Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Greg is off tonight. WREG's Jessica Knox joins us live with more on this story. Out on bond
Now, the ABC News exclusive tonight, Keith Papini breaking his silence. He's the ex-husband of a young wife and mother who made national headlines, staging her own kidnapping, her young husband believing her. But what he's revealing now, ABC's backed up with the interview tonight. He was the husband at the center of a kidnapping hoax that captivated the country. A California mother vanishing on a jog, sparking a massive search, only to reappear shackled on the side of a highway.
She made us all believe that her story was true. Every single day she committed to the lie.
Now, Keith Papini, after 7 years of silence, is revealing new details about how his wife Sherry faked her own disappearance and claimed she'd been kidnapped by 2 Hispanic women.
Are you chained up? Okay.
The hoax didn't just last the 22 days that she had disappeared. It lasted for years, 6 years. And that's what people don't realize. It was every single day.
The new Hulu documentary series Perfect Wife retraces the years-long saga.
When you first encountered her in the hospital, what was your first instinct? I saw the look in her eyes. I felt in that moment that she was lying. And it wasn't until when I really got close and I could just see the amount of injuries, bruises, burns to her body, and it was a shock to me. And I remember thinking how horrible of me to even think that she could have done this to herself.
DNA later led investigators to Sherry's former boyfriend, James Reyes. Reyes passed a polygraph and was never charged, but police say he helped carry out Sherry's plan.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Sherry was convicted of lying to a federal officer and served 10 months in prison. Keith and Sherry are now divorced. She apologized in court, but has Sherry ever apologized to you or the children?
No, never. She has no remorse that I have ever witnessed or seen.
David, we reached out to Sherry and to her ex-boyfriend, James Reyes, for comment. Neither responded. Keith says that Sherry's been telling the kids that she's going to author children's books. As for Keith, he says he's solely focused on trying to give those kids the best childhood possible.
So this clip made me watch that show, and that lady was crazy. Like, the fact that she just decided to burn out for 22 days to go be with her ex-boyfriend and have him torture her to be believable, then she just will go on Thanksgiving and tell the ex-boyfriend to take her home when she thought they were going to stay together. Clearly the ex-boyfriend ain't that smart, because why would you torture somebody? Like, it was crazy. The whole thing was crazy, and she affected her kids so much because they were thinking something was going to happen to her, you know, and even when she came back home, like, she didn't think of anybody but herself in that moment, and just the damage she did to her kids. And just, yeah, for 6 years, she never wavered with telling the truth. It's really crazy. I mean, this clip pretty much sums up everything, but I think it's only 4 or 5 episodes if you want to watch it. It's on Hulu.
The astronaut stuck in space will be there indefinitely, according to NASA sources. So for those who don't know, the Boeing Starliner, which was delayed numerous times, took flight and docked at the International Space Station. They were only supposed to spend a little bit of time there, and then the 2 astronauts, a male and a female, were supposed to come home. This indefinite delay is due to the constant helium leaks and also the issue with the thrusters, meaning that if they were to undock from the ISS with those 2 astronauts on board and they had a complete helium leak and a failure to thrusters, they would be lost in space, and we don't have the space shuttle to go rescue them anymore. So it will remain docked there. They are studying the helium leaks. They're trying to figure out what they need to do to patch those leaks, try to regenerate what they can, and pull an Apollo 13 off if they have enough to get them back to Earth. This just comes, though, as Boeing has consistently had issues with aircraft, and for those who don't know, Boeing and Lockheed Martin also are in a joint ventureship with the United Launch Alliance, the UOA, which is why they were able to send this piece of crap up to begin with. The astronauts...
That's crazy.
Hey, so today I experienced something that I've never experienced in my life before. Freaked me out. Thought I was crazy. Still haven't processed it fully. So, as I do every week, twice a week, I make deliveries to the same guy. I've been doing it for 7 months. And it's the same guy every time I walk in. He's got a big garage with like a couple trucks in it. I walk in, I hand him his parts, we talk for a minute, I walk away, I go on my business. Today, I walked in, and he had his back to me, and he was working on his bench, and he must have heard me coming, I don't know, because I was actually pretty quiet, I thought, but when he turned around, I jumped, and kind of grabbed my mouth like that, because I didn't know what to think. And he laughed a little bit, and he called me jumpy. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm just not feeling very good. And I handed him his part, and I was like, hey, I gotta go. The reason I reacted that way is because when I looked at him, he was different. He didn't look like the same guy I saw every other time. First thing I saw was he had no color in his eyes. They were completely black. Like black. Like you couldn't even see reflections. It was just a black mass. And for some reason his ears were kind of weird, and they had like this little point like that. I don't know what that was. Excuse me. But then I was talking to my friend, and he sent me an article about them saying that a new disorder that's coming out where people are starting to see demon faces in people. And it got me thinking, if they're putting something like that out, could it be a disorder, or is it God is actually letting people see demons, and they're just trying to make it look like we're crazy? I still can't process it. I can't.
Child, I don't know. But I don't want to see either way. I want the Holy Spirit to intercede. I don't want to see none of that. I just want to have discernment, like, this person's bad, I need to stay away from them. But I'm not prepared to see no demon faces, okay? funny. And dogs do be doing the craziest stuff, man. They be always about to trip you up. But somebody said he fell forward and back. He like tripped forward and back. This is hilarious.
What's up, y'all? So, first, let me just say, like, it's not something I was originally gonna do, but I'm led to do it, right? And I gotta be obedient to that. And so, I know y'all see the title, y'all see what it is, and since I've experienced this, really this last year and a half of my life, there's a lot of people I see who kind of dealing with very similar things, going through very similar things, and if you ain't grounded in a certain way, this stuff can break you, right? It'll break you down. And so, as somebody who's kind of come out on the other side of it, and I'm really telling this story more as a testimony, right? Because at the end of the day, it's more blessing in it than anything, right? And so I'm just telling this man to possibly encourage somebody, possibly help somebody. It's a lot of people going through the same stuff. This is not something that the average person is probably just gonna come speak about. And they may, you makes me need to know you're not alone in this. So here we go. Here's the story of how I found out about a year and a half ago that my biological cousin, second cousin, was actually my father. Or black families, your parents' cousins is your aunties and uncles. So biological cousin, but this has been uncle to me my entire life. I found out that my cousin was my father. So just a little background. Back in like 2020, into 2020ish, I did my 23andMe for a few reasons. Mainly, what it was about was I just was looking for like information on where we was from in Africa, what tribes and all that, what tribes are in that area, that kind of thing. So I'm just trying to get some locations and see what's going on. Not really looking for much as far as like my father goes, that type of thing. And so 2020, I did my 23andMe, got back. I kind of came in late. I had some DNA relatives on there that, of course, not knowing at that time I grew up. I grew up fatherless, of course. Having no idea who my father was. My grandmother raised me. My mother was an addict early in my life. She probably got clean when I was about 15, right? So, no idea. In like 36 years old at the time, when I found this out, never had any idea who my father was. And so, I had relatives on my DNA relatives on my 23andMe whom, I'm seeing these names or whatever, but I can't really make nothing of it because I don't know who these people are. So, and of course, I had my other relatives whom I did know on my mother's side. So, that kind of comes and goes. Nothing really comes of it because I wasn't, trying to make nothing come of it really. And so, 2022, fast forward, towards the end of 2022, the movie The Woman King that came out. And it's crazy because the first day I was not watching that movie. I'm like, I didn't want to see that. It's the feminization of black men and all this other stuff. I was on that life for a minute. But I ended up, at a certain point, I ended up watching the movie. Great movie, by the way. One of my favorite movies probably of the last few years. And in that movie, they're dealing with, that's a true story. They're dealing with true tribes, true locations, true names, the Oyo tribe, all of that. The Naomi and the Naomi, all of that. It's a lot around that, a lot of our history, quote unquote African American history, right? So, after I see the movie, I'm kind of doing my little YouTube and diving into things, and I'm looking up things in different places on and off YouTube about the tribes. But this video comes across my YouTube, where this guy had different things with his DNA or whatever. So I happened to pop it on. On the video, they talked about how, already mentioned how there are certain sites that you can upload your raw DNA for free, right? So My Heritage was one of those sites where if you have your raw DNA files, you can just upload it for free and whatever info it has, it'll give you. So I did it. Now we're in like December 2022. I do this or whatever. Maybe about 9-10 days later, I get my results back. And upon results, it is what it is, but I look at my DNA relatives. Now, just to give you a little background on how my family, on my mother's side at the time, my mother's side of the family, turns out my entire family is made up of 3 daughters, right? So my great-grandparents had 3 daughters, who are my grandmother and my great-uncle, her 2 sisters. Those 3 daughters had children, which are my parents' generation. So, my mother, her siblings, and their first cousins, and then we are up under them. So, I see somebody in my DNA relatives who are one of my cousins from one of my grandmother's sisters. This is their relative on their father's side, if that makes sense. I'm related to them that I know at the time on their mother's side. And so I know this person. I won't really use names for this, but I know this person. But we should not be blood relatives, right? He shouldn't be in my DNA relatives or whatever. And then on top of that, it's a strong. It says this person's name. It says and DNA generalizes, so it says uncle or great uncle. That's what it says, uncle or great uncle, right? And it generalizes. And we have a strong percentage of DNA. Now on 23andMe, my first cousin did it as well. My mother's sister's daughter, and me and her were 9%. We shared 9% of the same DNA. Well, me and this person, my uncle, whom I didn't know was my uncle at the time, we shared 16% DNA. And so me, a little bit I had learned about DNA. I know that DNA on your father's side, the paternal side, is a little stronger. And so immediately I'm just like, okay, this shouldn't be here. This is a strong D. This is stronger than my first cousin. And so it's like, this is paternal. This is my father's side, whoever my father is, right? And things are clicking, but not a whole lot's clicking at the time. So I'll say this, a little more background. Throughout the years as an adult, I never really dealt with my mom. I asked her about my father for this very reason. My mother would go on these like spewls, this rant or whatever, this kind of crying spew of how, she's so sorry she don't know who my father is. She was on drugs at the time, this and that. Kind of find out, that's not true, right? But we'll talk about that. So, I called my mom, and I'm like, hey, have you ever dealt with anybody say my father's name. I actually say that at the time. This is my uncle. I'm like, have you dealt with anybody on their side of the family, their father's side? Because this person just popped up on my DNA relatives. And this is where for about a week, things get weird between, or really just, my mom got weird. So, she's playing the whole memory fog and, I don't really remember. I was on drugs at the time, and she spends a week naming every relative of theirs she can think of, right? And so we going through this whole thing. She's going through it. She's just throwing out names. My cousin, who I find out is my first cousin, but at the time, just my cousin, we always been like brother. He like, oh, this person is this person. He going on Facebook getting pictures. This is this person. Da 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 da. You kind of look like them, and this and that. So we spent the week of that. I specifically remember this is around the time, I think brother named from the Bills, DeMar Hamlin had fell out. I remember watching TV while we was dealing with.
Listen, this man is long-winded, but yeah, his uncle, brother, cousin is his father. You know, it's not uncommon, but I guess at least you know, my brother.
Okay, so I have seen 2 videos come on my FYP in the last 30 minutes regarding chicken and how 2 black women stopped eating chicken and how their health improved. And I am another one of the black women that stopped eating chicken. And, I was watching Mama Trey. She goes live all the time and she's always talking about eat for your blood type. And she basically breaks down what you're supposed to be eating for whatever blood type that you have. And she said chicken is not good for any blood type, right? So I started just doing my research a little bit more and looking at the conditions that the chickens are in and what goes on in those chicken coops and how they're literally piled on top of one another and how disgusting it is. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to eat chicken. I have been dealing with inflammation in my body. I'm 46 years old, so I'm thinking, my hips hurt. Every morning I'm waking up, my hips are hurting and they're so inflamed and my knees were hurting. I was bloated, really, really bloated all of the time. But I'm thinking, okay, it's perimenopause, it's menopause, life is changing. That's what happens. And I said, no, I'm going to remove chicken out of my diet for 1 month and see what happens. Do you know I do not have no pains, no more, no inflammation, no bloating, no gastrointestinal issues, none of the things that I was dealing with before because I'm thinking, chicken is like the healthy meat. You're supposed to be eating chicken breast. I couldn't lose weight. My fupa was getting bigger. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I understand in your 40s, as women, you gain weight, your stomach gets bigger, perimenopause, your hormones are all out of whack. But that chicken is adding to the hormonal imbalances in our bodies because they give those chickens hormones to grow. And even with me, I was going to Sprouts, I was going to Whole Foods and get my chicken, but they're still not telling us something, and those animals are still filled with antibiotics and hormones. I do not care what is on the packages, because as soon as I let go of that chicken, all of my issues went away. Okay, my hips do not hurt whatsoever, my knees do not hurt whatsoever, the bloating is gone, I'm able to lose weight, I'm losing weight again and everything like that. So to me, there's something going on with the chicken. And then you got to think, you go to the restaurants, the Chick-fil-A's, the McDonald's, the Jack in the Boxes, all of these restaurants have all these chicken dishes on there, right? Just think of how much chicken this country has to produce to keep up just with the fast food restaurants, right? And then we market chicken as this healthy alternative, but that's not true. Once I started eating for my blood type, my health has been amazing. And I've always taken care of myself. I've been vegan at a time in my life. I've been vegetarian, pescatarian. I've done all the fat diets, right? I've done the best that I could possibly do to keep myself together, skinny, and on top of my health, through my 40s, 30s, 40s, and hopefully in my 50s. But that chicken is killing us. It's that chicken that's killing us. So especially if you have any autoimmune disorders, or you just have a lot of inflammation, a lot of, and when I say inflammation, the women that they're really puffy, that's inflammation. inflammation in your body. That's your body attacking itself. That's that inflammation. Let go of the chicken for just 1 month, and then come back and do it, or stitch this video and let me know how you feel.
I mean, I'm feeling torn because she made me want some chicken, especially when she's talking about all the different chicken. Popeyes, Chick-fil-A. Even though I haven't had none of that in a while, but I can understand what she's saying. She says she eats a lot of grass-fed beef is what she does. Beef and fish. Could you give up chicken? I like chicken, but could I give it up? Probably. I'm not like standing on business with chicken, but I do like chicken. I ain't gonna lie. But look, y'all, that's it. I'm about to get up out of here and think about all the rest I'm gonna get this weekend. That's what I'm praying for. And I'm praying for y'all. Y'all stay safe out there, and just, I pray that whatever y'all going through, that God will give you the strength to make it through, Lord, because we all need it. When you pass through the waters, He will be with you. Selah. Y'all stay safe. I'll be thinking about y'all, praying for y'all. Y'all pray for me. All right. Peace.